Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars video. Today we are once again talking about Star Wars canon and some major reveals from the new Star Wars encyclopedia. This is now my third video on the subject, but as I go through the book, there are so many new things, clarifications, but also some mistakes. Who would have thought? From the question of Cad Bane's death, which just got more intriguing as we go into The Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026, to Shaak Ti's canon death, more mistakes with the Inquisitors, and so much more. You don't want to miss this one. If there's something going on in the galaxy far, far away, you can guarantee I've got it covered. But no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. So, do you guys remember this video? Recently I spoke about the controversy surrounding the mysterious Inquisitor from Tales of the Jedi, the one who Ahsoka has to face. We spoke about this in the context of contradictions with the Ahsoka novel, but it just got even worse. It's clearly a mistake, and there is no denying it, because according to the online Star Wars databank, it's Marrok from both Ahsoka and Tales of the Empire who was once the first brother, not Birdman. So, which one is true? If you're looking for ways to harmonize and reconcile this, I suppose you could. First brother could just be a moniker for whoever's holding that position at the time. It's kind of like the designation of the Grand Inquisitor. Like we learned in Obi-Wan Kenobi, the person holding the rank might change. We have to remember, for a very brief moment, Reva was the Grand Inquisitor, so it could be the same in this instance. And the databank does say, once, Marrok was the first brother, not that he was indefinitely the first brother. But here's the thing guys, as we learned from Tales of the Empire, Marrok and Birdman were alive at the same time, before Marrok's first death, before he was revived. But to be realistic, it is a mistake. Leland Chi, the Lucasfilm continuity guy, says Marrok is the first brother. The other guy is unnamed and unnumbered. The first brother moniker should never have been applied to him. So technically, he should now be back to an unnamed Inquisitor. It's too late to change it for the book. And you might say, well Meg, does it really matter? Who cares? Well, I just wish Lucasfilm took this seriously and were as consistent as they used to be on the matter. These characters are not background characters. These weren't just some throwaway background cantina aliens. These were primary villains in their respective shows. And sure, there was so much wasted potential with them, but they were still important characters. Important enough to get their backstories and rankings right and not get them confused in definitive official encyclopedias like this. We still don't know the official timeline of Marrok's first death. He was later revived as a mercenary using Night Sister magic by Morgan Elsbeth. But of course, as we know from Ahsoka's first season, like dust in the wind, he exploded on Cetos at the hands of Ahsoka. He was slashed to death, and a cloud of dark green mist erupted from the wound, followed by a piercing shriek. And so now, my dear friends, on the same subject, it's time to move on to another major reveal. When the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer came out, fans were wondering, how was Asajj Ventress back? She died in the novel Dark Disciple, or to be more specific, she was made to appear as though she died, and yet, during the Imperial era, she's back, using her yellow lightsaber, almost as if nothing's happened. And we've been wondering, well, how can they reconcile the book and the show? They did make a light-hearted allusion to it when she said, I have a few more lives left in me. But fans have never been given a definitive answer. Is the book still canon? What's the situation? Well, the encyclopedia does seem to want to reconcile the two things. They make it a point that the book is still a big part of her official story, but they leave it very open-ended. If you read the book, it does hint that there may have been some Night Sister magic at play once her body was brought back to Dathomir. She illuminates, and there is a suggestion that there might be some healing. For all intents and purposes, at the time, way before the Bad Batch, I think Lucasfilm wanted to conclude her story, and now they've got plans for a future. When? I don't know. So with all of this in mind, here's what the new guide says. In a section titled Dark Disciple, how appropriate, they mention both parts being true at the same time. And while they don't explain the nitty-gritty, which I think Dave Filoni might want to explore at a future date, you know, maybe she might appear later in Ahsoka, they do say this: Ventress seems being the key word, to sacrifice herself to save Quinlan Vos. However, later, she mysteriously reappears. Ooh, no explanation, but they do seem to suggest something happened to her on Dathomir. So there you have it. The story of Dark Disciple is still canon, you didn't waste your time if you read it, but her end wasn't really final, and now she's back. She's still alive. no canon death. And considering Dathomir is going to feature in the second season of Ahsoka, could she re-emerge during the New Republic? And so now, my dear friends, we're going full on with the reveals today, guys. Shaak Ti's canon death. Shaak Ti seems to be the Jedi George Lucas wanted to kill time and time again. She has what, like 5 different deaths? Some of them from unused deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith. In Yoda's vision on Dagobah in the Clone Wars show, he sees a lightsaber pierce through her heart. But this never gave us concrete information on which of her deaths is canon. And I say this because both Grievous and Darth Vader killed her in the same way. So, which is canon? In Star Wars Legends, of course, in the Force Unleashed game, she survived Order 66. But the new encyclopedia puts matters to rest. They affirm the same death as the canon 2016 Galactic Atlas, that Shaak Ti died at the hands of Vader at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. They start by outlining her very important role in the Clone Wars Season 6. When Clone Trooper Tup mysteriously turns on his Jedi General Tiplar, Ti attempts to uncover the reason for his shocking act. Due to the interference of the Sith and the Kaminoans, the Jedi never discover that all of the clones have a biochip in their brains. These contained orders that could be carried out without question. At the end of the Clone Wars, during the Great Purge of Order 66, Ti is at the Jedi Temple and records a holocron message begging that whoever opens it ensures the Jedi continue. While she is meditating, Ti is then killed by Darth Vader, and that means that this deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith is now official canon, so any confusion has now been cleared up. And so finally, my dear friends, this one is huge. Cad Bane. Did he die at the end of the Book of Boba Fett? The answer is no, he's still alive. He had that flashing thing on his chest plate, but more than anything else, the new encyclopedia, which makes a point of suggesting when characters have died, does not say this about Cad Bane. It just mentions he clashed with Boba Fett. Quote, the pair clashes in Mos Espa, where Fett overpowers Bane. And that is the end of the paragraph. Nothing else. And along with the recent Bounty Hunter book, where Hondo Ohnaka says, Cad Bane seemingly died, but he wouldn't be surprised if he's back, I'm thinking he might re-emerge in a future project. But that said, my dear friends, those are some more reveals from the new book. I'm sure there are more to come. Are you enjoying this kind of video? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, check out yesterday's video, and I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you, always.